I tell you what, mate. Nagelsmann's Mannschaft is looking great.
To be fair, I do love the look of Nagelsmann's Mannschaft.
I just wish, as an England fan, that Southgate's Mannschaft was as strong and powerful as Nagelsmann's.
To be fair, Nagelsmann's Mannschaft did look a little bit floppy in the last game.
Against the Swiss. I tell you what, I've seen a few Swiss girls, and they made my Mannschaft a bit floppy as well.
Far out, mate. All right, I think that'll do it then. We've taken it a little bit too far. Welcome back to the Footy Roulette podcast. If you're wondering why are we speaking German, by the way, Mannschaft is German for team. We're talking about Nagelsmann's football team, aren't we?
Come on, guys, you dirty buggers.
Yeah, get your minds out of the gutter. You might be wondering why we're speaking German. And that was because every week on the Footy Roulette podcast, we pick out a team on the roulette wheel and we go and investigate them. Last week was all about Germany. So we went out, we did it. For the listeners, it's probably worth mentioning that we are recording this on Monday the 24th in the morning. So we have already seen how Group A played out. Obviously, Germany took the group. We'll talk about the full standings in a second. But what this does mean for the episode is that when we get to the betting and the roulette wheel later in the episode, it will be only from Group B to F about the games that are still to come. But nonetheless, we digress. Let's jump straight in to what we're here to do, which is give our overall thoughts on Germany over the last two games. They played Hungary and then they played Switzerland. Harry, talk us through the Switzerland game last night.
Well, I do specialise in Mannschaft analysis, as you know. And yeah, I had it on. I actually dual screened yesterday. I had the Scotland game on.
As you have to now that it's 8 p.m. kickoffs here in the UK.
Yeah.
Two at the same time.
I'm a little bit sad to see the 2 p.m. while you're at work, stick it on and pretend you're working kind of games. I miss those. But yeah, so Switzerland, I thought, well, there was that, some say controversial. I don't think as controversial as maybe some say. That foul from Musiala when the cross came in. Then that Andrik, or the guy in previous episode I referred to as the German Rodri, which looking back on that is maybe a disservice to Rodri. He's not quite as technical as a Rodri, but he plays that similar role. But anyway, yeah, I thought that, first of all, Sommer should have saved it. That was a shocking attempt at a save. That was like Sunday League stuff.
Yep.
That was like me, bloody, back in Barcelona with the lads. Bit of a dive, straight over the top of you. Embarrassing. But yeah, overall, I think it probably was a foul. He slid in, took the guy's ankle, the guy who cleared it. He took a while to get back on side. And
everyone's saying it had nothing to do with the goal. But
I mean,
it
was
foul.
Literally, well,
it's a foul. Full stop.
It was,
you stopped the game for
it was
a foul,
to do with the goal because it was exactly the person who cleared it and it went straight to the guy who scored.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my thoughts on that. I thought Switzerland, fair play to Switzerland. I'm not going to say that I think Switzerland are a bad team. I don't think they are. I think they're one of those teams. You know, they're a classic last 16 quarters in a good year kind of team, and I think they're looking like that again. I think they've got a bit of pace up front. The guy who scored the goal, was it in Doy, something like that?
Yeah.
He looked pretty good, great finish. Obviously onside. There was that funny meme going around of Rudiger's running position as he's trying to stop that. But yeah, I mean, Switzerland had chances to go 2-0 up.
As did Hungary the week before, to be fair.
Yep, that's true. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of fragility in the Mannschaft against when they're up against a little bit of quality. But, you know, overall, it was one of those games, 1-1. I did actually put a bet on 1-1. I thought it felt like a bit of a draw type game. I did. The rest of it didn't come in there, did it?
Yeah, fair. Well, we'll get to the betting in a bit. But yeah, the Hungary game for me, similar. You know, if Hungary did have chances. For me, the interesting thing I wanted to point out is, tell me what you think about this, right? Gundogan, for me, he's a number 8. Right, I think of him as a number 8. But interestingly enough, when I was watching that game, he's playing almost like a second striker, and it's given me throwback vibes to the Man City of 2 seasons ago, when De Bruyne went out injured and Gundogan just went off. Because he sort of took that more advanced role, and that's obviously Nagelsmann knows his Mannschaft. He's had some time to get to know his Mannschaft, obviously.
Like we all should.
Yeah, you should. You should know it as well as your right hand.
How well do you know your right hand?
Pretty well, mate. You look at it every day. Anyway, he knows his Mannschaft, and he knows Gundogan is not just an 8, as I would pin him as. And he's getting forward, and he looks unreal in those positions.
Yeah, but I will say, though, how many goals has he scored this tournament?
I think he has got a goal.
He's scored 1 goal.
1 goal.
He's got 1 goal. He's got an assist.
He's got a goal and assist, and it's because he's getting up there. He's also he's playing a pressing role as well. I think it'll be interesting to see that progress for sure.
He's covered a distance of 31 kilometres over the tournament so far.
But H, is that good?
Well, I'll find out give me a player and I'll find out how.
31 kilometres in 3 games.
Compare that to Declan Rice, God forbid.
I'll get that up.
Over 2 games.
No, Jude Bellingham, because they're playing like a bit more of an advanced role, so it might be a bit fairer.
That's my whole point, to be fair.
To Jude.
But yeah, I'm going to, while he's getting it up, suggest that 31 isn't that far. And I'm going to say he's just being smart with his energy.
Well, he is a little bit older now. He's not, past it. He's not Modric, for goodness sake. As much as I slag Modric on this podcast.
He's a 57-year-old that hasn't been able to lead his team to anything.
Jude Bellingham has only covered 20 kilometres.
Really?
In 2 games,
That's in 2 games.
So they're averaging...
that's 10 kilometres per game, and I think that's pretty much the same. But then Jude Bellingham's got 91% pass accuracy, whereas Gundogan only has an 87.3.
Big difference there. That 4%. That's some good stats.
Well, that is a big difference when you consider how much Germany actually have the ball.
True.
Compared to England.
Yeah, true. That's some great Statman H. I appreciate that. Thank you for jumping in. While we're talking about Germany, it's probably worth saying I'd love to know the corner count in that game, because last episode, talking about great statage, Statman H dropped in, and this was before the Hungary game, and I know I was keeping an eye on it in the Hungary game. They had a lot of corners.
Yes, they did. So in Switzerland versus Germany, we had Germany with 9 corners against Switzerland's 2.
Mate, I'm telling you,
and then in the Hungary game, we had Germany's 11 corners against Hungary's 7.
Oh my days. 18 corners in a match. I remember, if we get the receipts up, we were looking at, should we put a bet on for corners in that Hungary game? And we were looking at more than 6 and weren't convinced. And there were 18 corners.
Do you know what I think, and this is getting a little bit nerdy here, is teams that get quite a lot of corners, you know how Pep and Man City, they've got this kind of philosophy and style of play where they like play in the half space. So they'll get to the byline.
Yeah, and come back.
Yeah, so the half space player, not the winger, so it's usually a midfielder.
Or an inverted fullback.
Yeah, or an inverted fullback. He'll get to the byline in that half space between a centre-back and a fullback and then cross it in. And I feel like Germany are doing a similar thing. Gundogan's doing a similar role, and it's getting them a lot of corners.
Yeah, it's a good point. But overall, obviously, as we said, Group A has been wrapped up. We actually did... We'll get to how shit our betting has been. We're losing money left, right and centre. But one shining light was a bet that we agreed would put on, and it was essentially to pick the group standings exactly for 3 different groups. The first one we picked was Group A, and we got it right. Germany top.
Last minute, though.
Last minute, yeah. Germany top, Switzerland second, Hungary third, and Scotland last. So basically what we're betting on there was Hungary to win it, and they took it home in the last minute, 98th or something like that.
I mean, anyone who watched that game probably fell asleep for the first 90 minutes. Obviously, it's worth quickly talking about the horrific injury that happened to Varga. So, obviously, if anyone's ever listened to us, we're thinking about you. Rest up, mate. But I've seen in the latest report from the Hungarian FA, a few broken bones in the face and a concussion, but he's going to be all right. And he's going to be having a little bit of surgery. So I think that's his tournament up.
So it's not an Mbappe deal where he's going to come back in a blue, white and red coloured mask for anyone that was listening in last time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Hungary flag.
No. Well, I was asking, he's obviously not coming back in a mask.
What?
Vargas.
Oh, Vargas, yeah. I was like... yeah, he's not coming back in a mask. I'm sure he will come back in a mask probably next season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bit of a horrible injury. But
the Footy Roulette podcast sends our love, mate. Best recoveries. We're thinking of you.
Yeah. But anyway, aside from that, the game was a bit drab. I just don't get it, and it annoys me a bit. And I don't really care that much for Scotland or Hungary, but it really annoys me how you both know that you need to win, and a draw does nothing for you.
Yeah.
there was absolutely no intensity or purpose to the way they were both playing. And then all of a sudden, last 10 minutes, floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And either team could have won it in an instant.
To be fair, Scotland probably looked more likely.
Probably did look more
for
likely.
the last 20 minutes.
Hungary looked pretty poor, actually.
Yeah. There was, I don't think we're spoken about this yet, but there was a penalty shout for Scotland?
Yeah, there was. H, you were talking about this.
Yes, I was. I can't remember the incident between the two players but I definitely was a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's the striker?
Well, it wasn't
Shea
Shankwell.
Adams. Shea Adams.
No, it wasn't Shea Adams. Was it Shankwell? Did he come on? Well, anyway, long story short,
it's a penalty.
It
Statman said it's a penalty.
Yeah, it did look like a penalty. Clearly came in behind him. It was clumsy. There was contact on the legs. He fell over. Look, if you're giving the Musiala goal as a foul in the box where he's touched the ankle, and you're disallowing a goal for it, in my opinion, when you've pretty much flattened someone from behind, it's a penalty. I think the pressure got to him there, to the referee.
Interesting. And it's a shame because actually everyone's been talking about how good the refereeing's been up until this match day, really.
And that's actually something we haven't talked about, which I did want to talk about, is the semi-automated offside. I mean, if the Premier League don't bring that in next year...
it's going to take at least 6 to 12 months. That's the crazy
Is that what they
thing.
said?
No, but we just know that's the pace they're moving at.
Not 6 to 10 months to make a decision.
I just don't get it. Like, you're the richest league in the world. You've obviously financially can do it.
And you've seen it's working.
You've seen it's working. All the fans are so, including myself watching on the screen, I can imagine it's so much better in the stadium. You know, you get an offside decision in 5 to 10 seconds as opposed to sometimes 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then even draw the fucking lines wrong anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, what's concerning is that the games that have had the most controversy and decisions have been the ones with the English referees.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's a little bit. This whole Euros is becoming a bit embarrassing for an England fan.
Because we're being crap as well.
We're not only crap on the pitch playing as a team, the Mannschaft, the English Mannschaft, but also the refereeing. Who is the referee? The bald bloke?
Anthony Taylor.
Anthony Taylor. I'm glad you pulled out the fire.
Yeah, he's the guy that butchered. Well,
which decision was it?
The first one. The first one.
Oh, he spent fucking forever trying to make a decision.
Oh, it was the offside goal for the Netherlands game. Which we haven't spoken about yet. Yes. We had a bit of a disagreement on this one. I've said that's not offside to me.
We haven't spoken to H about this, have we? Because I'm intrigued to hear what his thoughts are as well. But
for me, he's not in the vision of the goalkeeper. I don't think he makes any attempt to get there. And if he dives into him or he dives behind him, and fair enough. But he's not in his vision.
So I'm opposite.
He was in offside position.
He was.
He was in the way.
He wasn't in the way.
I think he was in the way. I think that he's in the vision of the French goalkeeper, and it stops him making the dive. Do I think the keeper's getting there? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a goal anyway? Absolutely, I do. But if you've got someone stood right next to the goalkeeper, even if he's not completely physically, obviously you're betting on which way is he diving. Is he diving forwards? Is he diving backwards? Is he diving sideways? These are all things you don't know. But he's right there. In my opinion, it's interfering with play.
It was also all in a matter of seconds. Like, in one moment he was onside, and then all of a sudden the shot was taken and he was offside. I mean, he had no time to
he was in an offside position.
Oh, he changed judgment.
No. As in, he was obviously in an offside position when the ball was kicked. Look, there's not much more to say, I suppose. We'd love to hear your comments, all three of you that are listening in.
We've got four viewers now.
Yes, we're up there. But yeah, it just took longer than it should have, especially considering everything that's been working really well. We'll move on, yeah? And on Statman, I'm going to put it straight over to you. This is the part of the podcast we do a little bit of a Nostradamus section. We look at the future and the past, to be fair, and we make bets.
Of what section?
A Nostradamus?
What's that?
That's like someone that predicts the future, isn't it?
I thought that was just like a fucking psychic.
I actually searched it up because I thought it meant predicts the future, and it means that. So we're going to move on without you calling me out left, right, and centre.
I did realise. That was fucking fair play. I didn't know how cultured you were.
I'm glad I searched it so I could back myself there. But, betting. We've mentioned it's been a bit grim viewing, but I'd love to hear from Statman H up until the end of match day 2 what the stats on the doors were for the bets we've made. How many bets we've made? How they going?
So it's now racked up to 15 bets.
We've made
so
15
over
bets.
2 games is quite a few bets.
H, is that classified as a gambling addict?
Oh, I don't know. I think we'll have to work that out at the end of the tournament.
It depends if we're in the green or the red, right?
Yeah. And then, so got 4 ongoing at the moment. We'll talk about those later. And we've lost 10, 1. And since making a pretty hefty profit last week, we've now lost that money a bit and now only on £24. So it's not,
we're in the green,
not
so...
great reading this week, but I'm hoping we'll get some good stuff in this week.
Mate, we're in the green. That's absolutely not gambling addict territory, I think. And we can be happy.
What, so you're not a gambling addict if you're winning money?
Impossible.
You're a gambling genius.
Yeah.
Exactly. True. It's called stats. It's called being a Nostradamus. You can predict the future. Of course you'd bet if you could see the future, wouldn't you? Let's do a quick recap then. I don't want to take too much time because we've gone a bit through these, but open bets, Mbappe for Golden Boot. Didn't play. But I still reckon Mbappe could honestly pop up with a hat-trick and make it interesting in any particular game. Portugal-France final. Portugal stepped it up. France drew. Group F, highest scoring group. I'd love to hear the stats here, Statman H, how we're getting on.
We're doing okay. I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be a good week for us to watch because I think we're going to have some good results. So at the moment, Group A is on 17. That's including the third game that they've all played. But the other groups, who have only just played 2, Group B is on 11, C 7, D 8, E 9, and F 12. So we're only 6 goals in Group F from being the top goal. And what matches have we got this week?
So we've got Portugal against Georgia
yeah.
and Turkey against Czech Republic. And I reckon there's got to be a bet in there for us. Portugal, both teams to score, and Turkey, both teams to score, because 3 goals in each game will do it for us.
Double backing.
Yeah. Talking about random rogue bets, I just want to call Harry out on this one. Because, as you know, Austria played a game against Poland, who have been absolutely crap. They were playing Poland, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Harry's watching it. He's sitting there. Austria go 1-0 up, and Harry, who has access to the betting account, decides he's going to put all of our savings onto Austria to win the Euros. And he just sends us... No, he put a couple of quid on, but he sent us a message like, guys, I've gone rogue. I've just put 2 quid on Austria to win the Euros at 40-1. And we were giving him some crap. And he was back and he's still standing by himself. 20 minutes later, guys, I think I've fucked this up. When they drew. They ended up winning. So look, they're still in here. They're obviously going to get out the group with their points that they've got now. So who knows? Thoughts?
I think it's one of those... Look, I think if there's any random team that could do it,
Yeah.
I think I like what Austria's about. I like the old Ragnick backstory of Man U. He's got a bit of purpose to him. Make a movie about it. And they've got a clear style of play. It's aggressive. Sometimes that upskills people in knockout stages.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is there anything you'd like to know about the team? I've got a few stats.
Austrian team?
Yeah, I've got Austrian
How many
team.
goals
Their
did
performance.
Baumgartner score last year? Because I think he looks like a tasty player.
I'm not sure about his... I should have specified his stats in the tournament.
Okay.
Just hit us with some stats.
Yeah. What about? Is there any pressing stats there?
So they've scored 3 goals. They've conceded 2. Passing accuracy of 86.5%. They've made 5 saves throughout the tournament. And what else we got? We got
5 saves is not that many.
814 passes completed out of 939 passes completed or attempted. And they're quite a rough team. 33 fouls committed. Don't know what your thoughts on that.
That's probably from the pressing style. You get high up the pitch, you stop the ball there.
And if you don't, you've got to make it foul so they can't get away.
We've got 8 fouls in the defensive third and 15 fouls committed in their own half.
Yeah, fair. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we'll move on.
All right.
There was some good statage. I appreciate it.
No Baumgartner stat though.
No,
Well,
Baumgartner.
Let me do that. I'll find that.
While Statman H looks for a Baumgartner stat, we will go through all the shit that we got wrong this week. France and both teams to score didn't come through. Portugal and over 2.5 did, so that would have been a tasty one. This was on me. I put Croatia in all of our Akers, and they lost the first game of the round. It kind of fucked us over. Havertz, first goal scorer, he had a great chance about 20 minutes in.
He did, yeah.
It was a great save, to be fair. But that would have been nice. 1-0 Germany. Now, this is a bit of a funny story. We put the 1-0 Germany bet on. We went away, and somewhere along the line, the Footy Roulette boys were convinced that we bet 2-0. To the point that when we posted the last episode on Instagram, we said our predictions for this game, as it was kicking off, are 2-0 Germany, Havertz to score first goal, and Germany to win, obviously. We get 2-0 up. The boys are celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Limbs are flying. The group chat is going wild.
Limbs are flying. Manshafts are out.
Manshafts are out. And then we realised we had actually bet for 1-0.
This betting thing is really not for us, I don't think.
But we've started a podcast to literally talk about betting and football. What we got right, I've got a little note here that says nothing this week. And we'll move on from that. The next thing we wanted to talk about, I guess, was the tipping comp. Harry, you forgot to put your predictions in for the game last night, so make sure you get that up. But luckily for you, apparently, neither of us got any points, so we might as well have forgotten as well.
Yeah, am I top of the league at the minute, yeah?
No, it's quite tight. So I'm at top of the league with 25 points.
Jeez.
That's why you Statman H.
You're second in 24, and Theo is now chasing it behind us on 20.
Oh my goodness!
And over last week, the last round of games, I scored 10 points, you scored 11, and Theo scored 13.
Oh, it's getting tight, boys.
And actually,
I'm used to a tight squeeze,
just to go.
What does that mean?
I thought as we were looking at Germany, I'd just get the score we all predicted for the Germany-Hungary game, and I predicted a 3-0 win, Harry a 2-0 win, and Theo also a 3-0 win. And I don't think... Harry got that right.
Yeah.
But,
Fair enough. Well, we should have put a bet on 2-0 then, not 1-0. Don't know where you got that from.
I don't know what's going on in the tipping league. I just bloody don't keep forgetting to do it.
Yeah, not great. So last week we had to go out and find a Turkish player to talk to, and we weren't able to do it.
Yeah.
But we promised on air we were going to do better. There were some shouts of Harry knowing someone, me knowing someone, us maybe have played with some German players, and I'm happy to announce, guys, that we've delivered the goods this week.
Insert party noise. Party, overlay party. Yeah.
Woo!
Is this the surprise you were telling me about?
I have secured
No.
a Bundesliga
Stop it.
women's player,
Okay.
or ex-Bundesliga women's, top division women's in Germany, to give us a video. I actually coached her in Australia. Can you believe it? Me.
You created Bundesliga. You contributed to the female Mannschaft in Germany.
Wow. And she was class, honestly.
Yeah.
She was unreal. Basically, she was a midfielder. We played her on the wing sometimes because when she got it, she would get shots. Basically.
But is she Australian?
No, she's German. She played for Mönchengladbach. She played for a team that played in the top division called SC Sand. I'm sure she'll tell us all about it.
Have you got a name?
In the video. Mona Lohman.
Rolls off the tongue nicely.
It does.
Statman's fucking on it.
Yeah, he's looking for stats. Basically, what happened, I was coaching a women's team in Australia for a university. She came over on exchange, sent over a highlights video. We looked at it and we're like, she's got something about her. Came in.
I can just picture you in some random little office looking at these highlights
yes, we're going to kill it.
We can't believe how lucky we got.
Literally. We were pretty stoked, to be fair. And then basically she came in. We had a cup game against the top team in the division, which we hadn't done very well against previously. And we beat them. And she got 2 goals and an assist on debut. It was unreal.
She retired?
She's retired, yeah. But yeah, I'll check out the Instagram, Footy Roulette Pod, and TikTok, Footy Roulette Pod, to see Mona Lohman speak to the Footy Roulette team.
Have you got any stats?
So she's played 87 games in her career.
How many?
87.
Ooh, that's a veteran.
3 goals.
Nice.
And so she's played for SC Sand for 3 seasons. And then, what else we got? Borussia Gladbach.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
Yeah, she played for them for another 2 seasons. She's also played in Norway and Switzerland, and then also again Germany. So she's been around.
Awesome.
Fair play. That is.
Well, hopefully I deliver now and I don't fumble. I was chatting with her this morning and the video should be up on the Instagram and TikTok during this week.
That's what Footy Roulette is all about, guys. When it works, it fucking works.
Yes.
Like, we've got 2 vids for you. Like, no, Peepo, you're great, son. I love you. I love
Great
you.
guy.
Great guy, but come on, Mönchengladbach. What a bloody mouthful.
Yeah, that's German. That is a full German team. SC Sand doesn't really sound like a German team, but...
That could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be Danish for all I know.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
That's about as German, about as Bundesliga as it gets.
Exactly. Shall we move on to finding out what the country is that we're going to be focusing on next week, Harry?
Well, you know, this is my favourite bit.
This is the footy roulette bit.
You've had to wait 28 minutes to get a fucking roulette in Footy Roulette.
But we're there. And hopefully we can live up to the same standards when we go out and find some players from whichever country we land on. Obviously, as I stated before, we are just looking at Group B through Group F, because those games are starting tonight for Group B. Should we spin the wheel?
I think we should, and I swear to God, if we land on Turkey again, I'm fucking kicking off.
Scotland.
I've taken Germany, Scotland, whoever else is in their group out of it, Hungary and whatever. We're spinning. There is some spinach happening. Drum roll, drum
Here
roll,
we
drum
go.
roll.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh my God, it's so rigged.
It's actually rigged.
What is it?
It's Turkey.
No. This is rigged to do the same spin every time.
Three
Wait.
times.
What's if we get Germany now? This is outrageous.
Yeah. Okay, guys, enjoy the second spin.
If this is Germany,
I'm kicking off. Well, there's less teams in there. How does that happen? Oh, that could be interesting. Guys, we are going to Belgium.
Land. Okay, a couple of quick geography stats about Belgium. Horrible colonisers. Democratic Republic of Congo, you really did a number there. Shame on you, Belgium. Shouldn't let random people who aren't even part of your government, go and conquer whatever they want.
It's coming from the guy repping the British shirt.
Yeah, but we did. There's actually no justifying what we did. But at least our government collaborated with that. In Belgium, it was just some random dude. They were like, yeah, go take whatever you fancy, mate. Yeah, pretty brutal. What else can I tell you about Belgium? I can tell you the capital is Brussels. You need to be able to speak French and Dutch there.
Well, there's different parts, aren't there?
There's different parts,
Yeah.
but to work, I mean, all the Belgians listening might be like, this fucking idiot knows nothing. But I'm pretty sure to work, you legally need to, in Brussels, you legally need to speak both languages.
Oh, wow, that is quite an interesting stat.
Yeah, I mean, you can check me on that if you would like. But also Belgian fries, Belgian waffles, chocolate.
Is this a football podcast, or are you just like doing geography now?
I'd just like to throw in a little bit of geography for you.
I think we should hand over to Statman. That's obviously got some football stats to throw at us.
I got a few. So, Belgium team known as the Red Devils, interestingly.
They just copied Man U.
Yeah, I know, that's
Far out.
outrageous.
I hope they're better. Well, they're not. They're actually
Very
very
Manu-esque.
subpar. Yeah,
Belgium
subpar.
played their first official match on May 1st, 1904 against France, which ended in a 3-3 draw.
Wow.
It's considered one of the earliest international football fixtures on record. And we're currently going through the era of the golden generation.
No, we're not. We are.
Well, we're
we are.
supposedly meant to be.
Yeah,
going
but they're
through it with
shite, aren't they?
Kevin De Bruyne. Well, this is a bit
Mate,
outdated.
you're aggressive with the shite calls today, Theo. I mean,
I think that's the first shite call.
insert shite clips. Shite.
No, Belgium have been subpar for their whole golden generation. Everyone,
That is true.
You called them the Tottenham of international football, didn't you?
Yeah, but that is fitting though, isn't it?
Yeah, I rate that.
The most historic achievement is winning gold at the Olympics in Belgium in 1920.
Mate, that is literally over 100 years ago.
That
was their real golden generation.
all over.
Yeah.
That is such a shit accomplishment.
Yeah. How about how they're doing in this tournament? I think we can all agree they've been subpar, but I'd love to know, Statman, what, their goals for, their goals against. Who have they played? I can't even think of it off the top of my head.
So at the moment, they're only second in the group.
This is the most interesting group, isn't it?
Everyone's on 3, right?
Yes, they are. Romania are at the top.
Is that who they're playing?
Yeah, they're playing Romania. Oh, no, Ukraine.
No, they've already played.
Yeah. They beat Romania, didn't they?
And they've scored 2 goals, conceded 1, and made 7 saves.
Statman, can you please tell me how many goals has Lukaku scored that have been offside?
Oh,
that's going to be a tough stat to
that
find.
must be about 3 or 4 there.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
There's one. I think there's been one in. Well, there was one in the game that they just played. I think there were two in another game.
Yeah. So he's scored more goals than the team have already scored just in offside goals.
Fucking hell! And don't even get me started on auto goal.
Auto goal.
Own goal.
Oh.
I've been looking at too much Spanish Instagram posts, but yeah, own goals 7, I think so far.
Oh, in general.
In general.
I was going to say for Belgium, fucking hell.
Top goal scorer.
Yeah, that's weird, that, isn't it?
But yeah, so Belgium are going to play... How do we think that group's going to play out, Harry?
That is so complicated, and a group that I have avoided in all bets because I think Belgium are, a bit underperforming. I think Ukraine in the first game looked pretty poor, but they pulled out the fire. I think they're going to kick on a bit. Romania can play well. We saw them good in the first game, flagged a bit in the second. Who's the other team?
Nobody knows.
Romania, Belgium. Who the hell is it?
Ukraine and someone else.
It's Slovakia.
Slovakia. Oh, those Slovakians. So I feel like they're all quite at a level.
I think Slovakia are going to be out.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's between... I don't know who's playing who off the top of my head, but yeah, Belgium, it will be fun to watch them. It should be a very interesting...
Well, Romania plays Slovakia.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Romania could win that and top the group.
But there's a good... the reality is the third place in that group is probably going to go through because they've already got a win.
Yeah, that's true. What about... So I reckon then, for that group, we've got to do Romania and both teams to score and Belgium and both teams to score. That'll be interesting. Speaking of betting, we'll give Statman a bit of time to look into what we could potentially do with Belgium bets. But what's already been put on for this week, right? We've agreed we're going to do... Well, we did. Germany and Switzerland to draw. That came through. Hungary and both teams to score. Didn't come through. Hungary under 2.5 came through. Germany to win and under 2.5 didn't come through. So we've lost both of those already. Those weren't included, just for the record, in the stats before. So we're already up to 12 losses now. This is the one we were mentioning. We picked Germany, Switzerland, Hungary, Scotland, Group A winners in that order. Group B tonight, we've got Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania. And this actually means that Croatia need to draw with Italy, ideally, or Italy beat them by a small margin and Spain spank Albania. So there's chances there. And then the last one I think is the most set. We've gone for Portugal, Turkey, Czech, and Georgia. And I think we put 4 on that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it was good decent returns. But I mean, if there's one thing that if you haven't figured out already by listening to us talk about betting, is that football betting is incredibly inconsistent and a great way to waste your money.
Especially if you're following the tips of the Footy Roulette podcast.
Don't follow our tips.
Well, we're in the profit. We're doing better than most people, I reckon.
True.
But we'll see how everything plays out. And then the last one was Spain, Italy, Netherlands, double chance, just in case. Ukraine and Belgium, both teams to score. And Czech, Turkey, both teams to score. I quite like that one as well. So if you are following our tips, which we've said, gamble responsibly and don't do.
Yeah, don't follow our tips. Gamble responsibly and don't follow our tips.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going for. But onto the Belgium game, I think we agree we'll do like a Belgium to win, both teams to score, and a Romania to win, both teams to score. Anything else taking your fancy, Statman H?
Ooh, well, unfortunately, I don't have any featured recommended bets for this one.
Because it's too far away.
Yeah, when is that game, by the way?
It is on Wednesday, which is two
whole days away, and they can't figure out themselves.
Jesus.
Sky Bet needs to step up their game.
I reckon Lukaku scores 2 goals.
Yeah, I reckon.
If only there was a Lukaku offside one.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
That'd be great.
The odds on that, though, would be pretty rubbish, I reckon.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I reckon Lukaku to score. Something with Lukaku to score.
I was thinking both teams to score in the first half, maybe.
Ooh, very specific.
10,
What's that?
10 to 3 odds.
10
Is
to
that-
3.
is
That's
that-
like
is that-
333. I
Tell me
think
if
it
that's
is.
good. Or we go no goals scored in the first half. That's 1 to 5.
Nah, I reckon you're right. I think we go for the goals to be scored. We want to have an enjoyable match.
Over 2.5, Lukaku to score 2.
Ooh.
That's what I reckon. I reckon Lukaku's going to come good.
Yeah, we'll find the odds on that. We'll update on the story on the Instagram and TikTok. We have made a concerted effort not to make the betting section too long today. I hope you guys have enjoyed that.
In reflection, I feel like 80% of this podcast has been betting.
Is it? No, we've done all right. I hope there's been some insightful things there, guys. I think we'll wrap up the episode for today. We are going to be out there trying to contact people from Belgium. So if you're a Belgian listener, let us know if Harry's stats are right, for starters. And second, let us know if you know any professional footballers, preferably like De Bruyne or Lukaku. But if you know anyone who's ever played in Belgium, we'll take that too.
Yeah. So,
See you next time on the Footy Roulette podcast.
yeah.
See you later.
Welcome to the Footy Show.